While I think it's pretty cool that people are trying to save multiverses, I don't think that's really going to happen. I think Warner Brothers is kind of set in their ways to end the game by, May. But I thought of a really cool idea, and that would be a fun what-if video. What if Multiversus still was around for multiple seasons, and what characters do I think would do the best in Multiversus? All right, this is going to be a crazy list, just so you know, okay? Because I've been playing Multiversus for a long time, and some of the characters that we actually got, I'm still scratching my head because they're not very good characters, they're not popular characters, and they just didn't sell as well as most people still aren't playing them. So, I know a lot of people like to bring up ranked, that certain characters are being used ranked a lot. But this game was more than just a competitive game. It was also a game for people that were fans of WB content. And in that respects, WB kind of failed because those people didn't purchase the characters, they didn't purchase the cosmetics, or any of the other little doodads in the game, and it kind of self-imploded. So, these are characters that I would have brought into Multiverses that would have not only increased its popularity, made fans happy, but also would have made bank. But before we get to that, my name's Kwing. I'm one of the co-hosts of Kwingsletsplays. If you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe for more awesome videos, as well as hit that notification button so you never miss a video. If you want to help support us, you can always help us on Patreon, or you could become a channel member. With that out of the way, oh, this is gonna be good. This is actually probably everybody's #1 pick, and that is the Looney Tunes star, Daffy Duck. I am still scratching my head how Warner Brothers could drop the ball this much. They have been teasing Daffy for almost 3 years, and still we never got Daffy. In fact, even recently, during Christmas, I believe Bugs Bunny has a Duck Season, Rabbit Season shirt. His new stage coming out in Season 5 is Duck Season, Rabbit Season, and we still don't have Daffy. Daffy is one of the most popular Looney Tunes characters of all time and the rival of Bugs Bunny. And it is amazing that Warner Brothers dropped the ball this much and completely ignored Daffy Duck. I'm just, wow. I can't believe that. Okay, so next up we're going to do some DC rep because you know me, I like some DC characters. It goes with the territory. But I would bring in the female villain, Poison Ivy. And Poison Ivy is a very unique and popular character right now, so she would do amazingly well in Multiverses. You have people that remember Poison Ivy from the animated series days. You have people that remember Poison Ivy from the Batman and Robin movie, which, But also, Poison Ivy has appeared in various animated series from the Batman, Justice League, Action. You had her in Batman Brave and the Bold. You've had her in various DC movies, and she's killing it right now as the, I guess, co-star of the Harley Quinn show as well. So just about everybody in the world knows who Poison Ivy is, and she would be a great addition. I could see her using kind of like a vine whip type thing, as well as maybe summoning plants to attack people. And I think it would be great if her skin was actually kind of like lightish green, like some of her other more popular incarnations. Now, the voice actress for her would be kind of difficult because I believe the original animated series actress is kind of retired. She's in her 80s, and, she's a grandma now, so I don't think she'd want to come back. But I think a great Poison Ivy voice actor who they could get would be the Brave and the Bold actress Vanessa Marshall, who played the character in Batman Brave and the Bold, along with some video games, and she's not as well known, but she has a great Ivy voice, so I think that she would kill it as Poison Ivy. Next up, we gotta talk about Where Are You, Scooby-Doo? Scooby-Doo is a character that's been teased since the get-go in Multiverses, and he's completely ignored by both Warner Brothers and Player First Games. Like, what is the deal? The character appeared in a tie-in comic book along with the Wicked Witch for the Multiverses game, and both the Wicked Witch and Scooby were teased, but we never got them. Frank Weckler is, of course, the voice of Scooby currently, and he would probably be very happy to reprise his role. as Scooby in the video game, and I think Scooby's moveset would be a variation of him doing some kung fu fighting, as well as probably some zany, like, running around stuff that Velma and Shaggy both do. I don't see him doing too much martial arts. He'd probably find, like, crazy cowardice ways of taking down the enemies, and it would be great to have Scooby representing himself in Multiversus. Okay, this one's going to be controversial, but where in the world is Ben 10? Everyone wanted Ben 10. Now, you could argue that there's lots of, popular versions of Ben 10, but for me, the Ben 10 that was putting the show on the map was Alien Force. Not only was Alien Force fantastic, written by Dwayne McDuffie, but the characters were all turned into teenagers, so it kind of had that, like, 2003 Teen Titans vibe going on. Great storytelling, good characters, great voice actors, fun stories, and Alien Force was just like the peak of Ben 10. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Well, they probably couldn't get Ben 10. Well, what they could have done, if the transforming thing is a problem, they could have just chosen 1 or 2 forms for Ben to use in Multiversus, the way that they do with Pokemon in different fighting games. Not every Pokemon appears to represent their franchise, usually 1 or 2 in either Pokken Tournament or Smash Brothers. Same thing would work with Ben. Just choose one of his popular forms that people are familiar from Alien Force, because, I'm totally biased, and go with that. You could have super fast Ben, you could have big forearm Ben, whatever, it doesn't matter. If for some reason Warner Brothers is like, yeah, no, you still can't use those characters, then use the grandfather as a plumber. Make it fun. Use Gwen and have her have some fun banter with Raven, right? Or if you really want to do something different, bring in Kevin. Kevin's basically like a metamorpho character, well-loved character, and anybody would be happy with a little bit of Ben 10 love. Just like the Matrix fans were happy that Agent Smith was in the game, just throw the Ben 10 fans a bone, for crying out loud. Seriously, like, what is the deal? Speaking of aliens, Warner Brothers is actually sitting on one of the coolest aliens that they could have incorporated in Multiverses. That's right, I'm talking about none other than the Lord of the Thundercats. Lion-O himself would have been awesome in Multiverses. The original actor is still alive and loves reprising his role in Adult Swim, as well as the terrible Thundercats Roar show. So he would totally be game to come and make fun of the different, DC characters. And he would play it straight, because Lion-O was a very curious individual. So, he would be asking all these type of questions in his Lion-O voice, which would just be amazing. I would love that. I would be like, my mind would explode, because I watched Thundercats as a kid, and the Thundercats 2011 series was fantastic. And if you're thinking about, well, what kind of costumes would they incorporate? Well, Lion-O has had different looks in the comics, in video games, in animated series, so they could easily do microtransactions with Lion-O, as well as give him some modern attire that we've never seen before, like Sun Lion-O, or Beach Lion-O, Winter Lion-O, Halloween Lion-O. There's lots of possibilities they could have done, as well as utilized different looks from Lion-O's past. Now, I know what you're thinking. What would his moveset be? Well, basically, Lion-O would be kind of like a clone of Link from Smash Brothers. I don't know if you know this or not, but the claw that he wears on his arm is actually a grappling hook. So just think of it like a hook shot that Link does, as well as his sword. You could have it both be like just a regular sword, or the Sword of Omens could shoot like red lasers out of it, and he could say, "Ho!" when he uses it and blast people. It'd be so fun. People my age and a little bit younger are well aware who Lion-O is, and they would flock to the game in droves, because we have not had a great video game for Lion-O to actually appear in. Every Thundercats game that has released in the past 30 plus years has been terrible, but Lion-O is a tried and true character that still stands the test of time, and WB has been trying to get that live-action Thundercats movie off the ground for over 15 years. So having Lion-O in Multiverses would have been sick. Especially in place of Banana Guard and Nubia, Lion-O would have slayed, man. Speaking of slaying, we don't have enough undead action in Multiverses, so you gotta bring in the Grim Reaper himself. That's right, Grim from Billy and Mandy would be amazing. Not only would the character be funny with his Jamaican accent, but just all the different undead moves and, You know, his like death stuff would just be really funny, and it would work well with the cast of characters around him. Plus, again, if you gotta use different like microtransactions and skins, you could have had Beach Grim, you could have had Halloween Grim, Christmas Grim would have been hilarious, Winter Grim, Spring Grim, and then just some of the other weird get-ups that he had like in the show. He's basically like a PG version of Rick from Rick and Morty, and he adds that undead flair to it, which would just be amazing. His scythe would be really fun. He could throw it at people and things like that. Who knows? I don't really remember the show too much, but I think Grim from Billy and Mandy would have been an amazing Cartoon Network character that could have shown up in Multiversus. Okay, this next one is going to send a shock through your system. That's right, because I'm talking about my boy Virgil, Static Shock. Now, Static Shock has a very unique opportunity because he's actually voiced by Aquaman and Samurai Jack himself, Phil LaMarr. That's right, if you didn't know that, or not, Phil LaMarr actually voiced young Virgil in Static Shock. And Static Shock would be a really fun character. He's got electric abilities. He also rides on like a saucer. I could see them incorporating the saucer and his static abilities into those moveset. He is familiar with the Justice League, so he can have banter with the different Justice League characters. He has a lot of different like costumes he's had over the years. So you got that microtransaction. He's a very well-known character, way more than Nubia or Banana Guard. He's a very beloved character that Warner Brothers has kind of put on the sideline in favor of like Blue Beetle and Supergirl. He didn't really show up in the CW. He should have. And a lot of fans like myself still have a soft spot for Static Shock. And the character would be a blast, more so than Black Adam. In fact, I would have taken Black Adam out of the game and had Static Shock instead. But that's just me. This next one might cause a little bit of controversy, but I don't care. Dexter should have been in Multiversus. Dexter's Lab is a hilarious show that's still loved by fans around the world, and more people know who Dexter is than most of the characters in this game. Now, you could argue, well, you know, he's a millennial character. It doesn't matter. He was a character that helped put Cartoon Network on the map. His show was absolutely hilarious, and you have a living voice actress who played Dexter actually employed in the game already, Tara Strong. So if Warner Brothers wanted to save some of that moolah, they could easily ask Tara to voice another character. And she's already voicing Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls, Harley Quinn, and Raven. Having her do Dexter would just be, you know, chef's kiss, because she did a great job. She filled in for the second actress to play Dexter, who left the role because she wanted nothing to do with it and the fans anymore. And Tara Strong reprised Dexter's role in some Smash Brothers Cartoon Network clones, and he was a lot of fun to play as. So I could see Dexter working out pretty well. I would just basically take his moveset from his different Cartoon Network Smash clones and just run with it like that, and it would be really great and kind of fun. Maybe even he could summon characters to attack or something that won't appear in the game. Like, think of them kind of like assist characters, but only Dexter does it. Like, maybe he would summon, like, Johnny Bravo, or I Am Weasel, or maybe he would bring in Super Monkey or whatever, you know? The possibilities are limitless, and I think it would be a lot of fun, and Cartoon Network fans would be elated to have more Cartoon Network representation. Now, while we do have some reps from The Matrix, we are sorely missing another fantasy franchise that was teased to be included in Multiversus at the get-go, and that is The Lord of the Rings. Now, The Lord of the Rings is a very tricky thing for Warner Brothers right now, which is probably why we didn't get Gandalf. And if we couldn't have gotten Gandalf, then the character I would have wanted the most from Lord of the Rings would have been Legolas. Let me tell you why. Legolas would have fit in really well with this kooky group, as well as he could use both his bow and arrow and his short swords. So he could kind of swap between different type of things, kind of like the way that Batman does. Batman utilizes gadgets and martial arts. Well, Legolas would use his bow, kind of like Gizmo, and then he would, when he got up close and personal, he'd use his like two swords. I think that'd be sick. Most people are still familiar with Legolas. The Lord of the Rings trilogy was not that long ago, as was the Hobbit trilogy, so Legolas is still fresh in everybody's head. Very popular character. He's got renowned, as well as he would sell a lot, because who doesn't love Legolas? If for some reason you couldn't get Legolas, then bring in my man Gimli. Gimli would be a hoot. He really would. The actor who played Gimli is still alive. He loves reprising his role. He loves the character. He comes in and he does even parodies of himself, like for different comedy sketches as Gimli. So he would totally be down to do Multiversus. Plus, you know, his kids would love the game as well too, so it'd probably be pretty easy to get him involved. Gimli's moveset, I don't really know. I keep thinking of a character from Golden Axe. I think it would work well in Multiversus. And as long as he says, "My axe," I think we're good. So the last character that I would love to see in Multiversus is Freakazoid. The man himself. Freakazoid would work so well with all the Looney Tune and DC characters, and he would roast every single one of them. Freakazoid was a hilarious character from the 90s that a lot of millennials still remember, and people have asked Cartoon Network for years to reboot the show, as well as the actor who played Freakazoid has asked them time and time again either to re-air the show or reboot it. So if you bring him in, Freakazoid has to make fun of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Poison Ivy, like Harley Quinn, the characters from Steven Universe, all that stuff. And if he didn't, it would be a dire shame because the character that's his whole area of expertise. Aside from his goofy superpowers, which you could probably add comic balloons and effects and stuff like that, it would be great to see Freakazoid. Oh, and I can't forget my wife request. So Amber really wants to see Hawkgirl. Hawkgirl is her absolute favorite DC character, and she loves the character to death. The actress who played Hawkgirl would easily reprise her role. She loves the character so much. And basically, you would just give her kind of limited flight like Superman, have her use her nth metal mace on people. There's lots of different looks for Hawkgirl over the years that you could easily do microtransactions, way more than Nubia. And Hawkgirl is a well-known character that has been very popular the last 26 years. And I would love to see her in the game because she would just be so much fun. Okay, so that is absolutely my last one. Agree with my list or disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. For some honorable mentions, I'll go off Pinky and the Brain, but they would be inside a mech suit, so they could be equal to size to the Iron Giant, except it would look like a very Pinky and the Brain like thing. Think of it like the suit that Brain operated, that weird human suit with the small head. I think that would be funny. I would like to see a character from Johnny Quest, either Race's daughter or Race Bannon himself would be a cool addition. One of the girls from The Kids Next Door, which people maybe don't remember that, but I do. So I think that would be a good honorable mention. And I think my last honorable mention would be Blue from Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends, because my wife really likes that show. But anyway, that's it. That's all for me. If you guys would like to know what cool costumes would I have put in Multiversus for Batman, Superman, and the like, if this video gets 5,000 views, I will easily do something like that because I'll see an interest, because these videos do take some time to throw together. I hope you guys enjoy them. I had a lot of fun with this one, so I hope maybe Multiversus will be saved, or at least the people that are trying to save Multiversus will take interest in this video, and who knows, maybe it'll get more than 5,000 views. I don't know. I'm a humble man these days. As a shadow ban channel, I'm lucky if I get 1,000 views. But you guys can help by sharing this video, smashing that like button, and just share it with a friend. Word of mouth, the old ways are best. Trust me. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll be here later today with an awesome live stream on something else, so I hope you guys will come back for that. And who knows, maybe we'll be seeing each other again soon with another Multiversus topic video. Until then, God bless and happy gaming. Don't forget to watch today's short. Bye-bye.